My girlfriend texted, "Someone hit your car outside my apartment. Don't worry, I already handled it." 2 hours later, the cops called. Turns out, she was the one behind the wheel, and the security footage showed who was sitting in the passenger seat. I'm Jake, 31, and until 3 weeks ago, I thought I had everything figured out. Good job in IT consulting, a decent apartment downtown, and a girlfriend I'd been with for 2 years, Melissa, 28. We weren't living together yet, but we'd talked about it. She had her own place about 20 minutes away, a nice complex with covered parking and security cameras everywhere. That last detail matters. It was a Tuesday afternoon when I got the text. I was in a meeting, phone face down on the table, and when I finally checked it during a break, I saw her message. "Someone hit your car outside my apartment. Don't worry, I already handled it." My stomach dropped. I'd driven my car to her place the night before and taken an Uber to work that morning because we'd been drinking. The car was my baby, a 2021 Audi A4 I'd saved 2 years for. I immediately called her. "Babe, what happened?" I asked the second she picked up. "Oh my God, Jake, I'm so sorry. I was coming back from the gym this morning and saw your car in the lot with a huge dent on the driver's side. I asked around, and someone said they saw a white truck clip it and drive off. Did you call the police?" "Yes, I filed a report. I also left a note on your windshield with the case number. I figured you'd want to deal with insurance yourself." I felt a wave of relief. She'd handled it. That was my Melissa, always looking out for me. "Thank you so much. I'll come by after work and check it out." "No rush," she said, her voice sweet. "I have dinner with my sister tonight anyway. Just text me when you get here." The rest of my day dragged. I kept picturing the damage, running insurance numbers in my head, wondering if my premium would spike. At 5:47 p.m., I finally left the office and headed straight to Melissa's complex. The damage was worse than I'd imagined. The entire driver's side door was caved in, deep scratches running from the handle to the wheel well. I took photos, found the note Melissa mentioned, and called my insurance company. They told me to wait for the police report and that they'd send an adjuster out in a few days. I was standing there, staring at my car, when my phone rang. Unknown number. "Is this Jacob Richter?" a male voice asked. "Yeah, who's this?" "This is Officer Daniels with the Metro Police. I'm calling about the incident involving your vehicle this morning. Can you come down to the station? We need to go over some details." Sure. My girlfriend already filed a report, but I can come by. Is something wrong?" There was a pause. "We'll discuss it when you get here. How soon can you make it?" I arrived at the station 40 minutes later. Officer Daniels was waiting in a small room with another cop, a woman who introduced herself as Detective Ortiz. They both looked serious. "Mr. Richter, we've reviewed the security footage from your girlfriend's apartment complex," Daniels said, sliding a laptop toward me. "We need you to watch this." The video was time-stamped 7:34 a.m. It showed the parking lot from an overhead angle. My car was clearly visible. Then Melissa's white Honda CR-V pulled into the frame. Too fast, way too fast. She clipped the side of my Audi hard and kept going into her parking spot. The impact made my car rock. I stared at the screen. "Wait. Melissa hit my car?" "Keep watching," Ortiz said quietly. The video continued. Melissa got out of the driver's seat, looked around, then walked quickly toward her apartment building. But before the video cut, someone else stepped out of the passenger side. My best friend, Marcus. I felt like I'd been punched. Marcus, the guy I'd known since college, the guy who'd been my roommate for 3 years, the guy who was supposed to be in Charlotte for work all week. "What the hell?" I whispered. Daniels leaned forward. "Your girlfriend filed a false police report, claiming a hit and run. That's a crime. But given the circumstances, the passenger, the timing, we wanted to hear your side before moving forward." I couldn't speak. My brain was trying to process two separate betrayals at once. Do you know why Marcus would have been in her car at 7:30 in the morning? Ortiz asked. I shook my head slowly. Then it hit me. He told me he was traveling for work. He left Sunday night. Is there any chance they're involved? I laughed. It came out bitter and sharp. I guess there's a hell of a chance now. Update 1: I left the station in a daze. They told me they'd follow up with Melissa about the false report and that I could press charges if I wanted. I didn't answer. I just walked to my car, well, my Uber, since my car was still totaled at her complex, and sat in the back seat staring at my phone. I didn't confront her right away. I needed proof. I needed to be sure I wasn't jumping to conclusions, even though every instinct in my body was screaming the truth. I called Marcus first. He answered on the third ring, voice casual. Hey man, what's up? Where are you right now? I asked, keeping my tone light. Charlotte, meetings all day. Why? Just checking in. Wanted to see if you're free this weekend. Should be back Friday night, let's grab beers. I hung up. He'd lied to my face, or, technically, to my ear. Next, I tested Melissa. I texted her. Hey, what time did you leave for the gym this morning? Her reply came fast. Around 7. Why? Just curious, trying to figure out the timeline for the accident. Oh. Yeah. I left early. Wanted to beat the crowd. Another lie. I sat with that for a while. Then I did something I'm not proud of. I logged into Melissa's iCloud. We'd shared passwords a year ago during a trip when her phone died and she needed me to check her email. I'd never used it since, until now. Her messages loaded. I scrolled to Marcus's name. My hands were shaking. The texts went back months, flirty at first, then explicit. Photos I won't describe, plans to meet up while I was working late. And then, from 2 days ago, Melissa. He's leaving his car here tonight. Perfect. Marcus. I'll park a block away and walk over. You sure he won't know? Melissa. He took an Uber to work. We're good until tomorrow. I read it 3 times. They'd planned it. She'd convinced me to leave my car at her place so Marcus could sneak over. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw my phone. Instead, I took screenshots of everything. Update 2. I didn't sleep that night. I kept replaying every moment of the past 2 years, wondering how long this had been going on. How many times had I been the idiot sitting at home while they were together? The next morning, I called a lawyer. Not because I wanted to sue, though I was definitely considering it, but because I wanted advice. She told me I had options. Small claims for the car damage, possibly a civil suit for emotional distress, and that the police would likely charge Melissa with filing a false report. But more than legal advice, I wanted revenge. Not the violent kind, just the kind where everyone knows exactly what they did. I decided to wait until the weekend. Marcus was supposed to be back Friday, and we had plans to meet up with our usual group, 5 guys we'd been tight with since college. I invited everyone to my place Saturday night, under the guise of watching the game. I also invited Melissa. She didn't suspect a thing. Can't wait, babe, she texted. I'll bring snacks. Saturday came. Everyone showed up. Marcus walked in grinning, dapped me up like nothing was wrong. Melissa kissed me on the cheek and set down a tray of brownies. We watched the first quarter. I waited until halftime, then I turned off the TV. Hey, I need to show you guys something, I said, connecting my laptop to the TV. Marcus looked confused. What's this? A presentation? Something like that. I played the security footage first. The room went dead silent as they watched Melissa hit my car, watched Marcus get out of the passenger seat. Melissa's face went white. Jake, I'm not done, I said, and pulled up the screenshots of their texts on the screen. Someone muttered, holy shit. Marcus stood up. Dude, let me explain. Explain what? I cut him off, my voice cold. Explain how you've been sleeping with my girlfriend for months? Explain how you lied about being in Charlotte so you could spend the night at her place? Explain how she hit my car and blamed it on a hit and run to cover for you? Melissa was crying now, but I didn't care. Jake, please. I'm so sorry. Get out, I said. Both of you, now. They left. No one tried to stop them. After the door closed, one of my buddies, Chris, looked at me and said, "Bro, that was the coldest thing I've ever seen." I shrugged. They earned it. Update 3. The fallout was immediate. By Sunday, everyone in our friend group knew. Marcus got cut off completely, blocked, unfriended, erased. Melissa tried to reach out a dozen times. I ignored every call, every text, every email. The police did charge her with filing a false report. She ended up with a fine and community service. I pressed charges for the car damage in small claims court and won. She paid for repairs in full. Marcus lost more than our friendship. Turns out, one of the guys in our group was his co-worker. Word got back to their boss about what happened, and while it wasn't officially the reason, Marcus got let go a month later during a restructure. I didn't feel bad. Melissa's sister, the one she'd supposedly had dinner with that night, reached out to me privately. She told me Melissa had been lying to her too, using her as an alibi multiple times. She apologized and said she'd cut Melissa off. As for me, I'm doing fine. Better than fine, actually. I got my car fixed, started going to the gym more, and honestly, I feel lighter. I thought losing both of them would destroy me, but instead, it just cleared out the dead weight. Someone asked me last week if I regretted how I handled it. The public confrontation, the screenshots, all of it. I told them no. They humiliated me in private for months. I just returned the favor in one night. Final update. It's been 3 months since everything went down, and I figured I owed you all one last update since so many of you have been following this mess. First off, the legal stuff is completely wrapped up. Melissa paid for all the car repairs, $4,200 total. She tried to negotiate paying in installments, but my lawyer shut that down fast. She had to cover it in full within 30 days or face additional penalties. The money hit my account 2 days before the deadline. She also completed her community service for the false police report, 60 hours at some charity downtown. I heard through the grapevine that she hated every second of it. As for Marcus and Melissa's relationship, yeah, that crashed and burned spectacularly. They lasted maybe a month after I exposed them. Apparently, once the thrill of sneaking around was gone, they realized they had nothing in common except mutual betrayal. Marcus tried to blame everything on her, saying she pursued him. She told people he manipulated her. Classic finger-pointing. Last I heard, they can't stand each other now. Marcus tried reaching out about 6 weeks ago through another friend, Dan, who felt bad for him. Dan called me and said, "Look, Marcus is really torn up about this. He wants to apologize face to face. He knows he messed up." I told Dan he had months to be honest with me. He chose to lie every single day. Tell him I'm good without his apology. Dan pushed back a little. "Don't you think people deserve second chances?" "Sure," I said. "Just not from me. Not after this." Dan hasn't brought it up since. Melissa made one final attempt to contact me about 2 months in. She sent a long email, like essay length, explaining how she'd been confused, how she never meant to hurt me, how she was going to therapy now and realized she had commitment issues stemming from her parents' divorce. She said she'd always loved me and hoped one day I could forgive her. I read it once, then I blocked her email address. I don't care about her therapy revelations or her childhood trauma. That's her work to do, not mine to absolve. The friend group has fully solidified without them. We've actually gotten tighter, if anything. Chris started calling our hangouts the trust tree, as a joke, but it kinda stuck. We've had some real conversations since then, about relationships, about loyalty, about the kind of men we want to be. It's been good. My dating life? Non-existent by choice. A few people have tried to set me up and I've gotten matches on apps, but I'm not there yet. I'm not bitter or broken. I just want to focus on myself for a while. I've been putting energy into work, got a promotion last month actually, and I've been traveling on weekends. Went to Colorado 2 weeks ago, just me and my thoughts in the mountains. It was exactly what I needed. One weird thing, I ran into Melissa's mom at the grocery store last month. She saw me and I could tell she wanted to walk the other way, but I was blocking the aisle. She finally came up to me and said, "Jake, I'm so sorry for what my daughter did. You deserved better." I appreciated that. I told her, "Thank you. I hope she figures things out." Her mom teared up a little and said, "Me too." That was it. No drama, no scene. Just a sad mom who raised someone who made terrible choices. People keep asking if I've forgiven them. The honest answer is, I don't think about them enough to forgive them. Forgiveness isn't something they're owed, and it's not something I need to give to move on. I've just moved on. They're footnotes now. Cautionary tales I'll probably tell at a bar someday when someone asks if I've ever been cheated on. The funniest part? A girl I went to high school with reached out last week after hearing about everything through mutual friends. She said, "I always thought you were too good for Melissa anyway. If you ever want to grab coffee, let me know. I might take her up on that. Or I might not. Either way, I'm good. Life's pretty solid right now. The car runs great, my apartment's never been cleaner, and I sleep like a rock every night knowing I'm not sharing my life with liars anymore." That's it. That's the end of this saga. Thanks for reading, for the support, and for reminding me that I wasn't crazy for being pissed. You all helped more than you know. Edit 1. A few people have asked if Melissa and Marcus ended up together. Last I heard, they tried dating for like 3 weeks before it imploded. Guess a relationship built on lies doesn't work out. Shocking. Edit 2. For everyone asking about the car, it's fully repaired and running perfectly. I'm never parking it at anyone else's place again, though. Edit 3. Marcus tried to apologize through a mutual friend about a month ago. I told the friend to tell him I said no thanks. Some bridges you burn and walk away from.